My 365-day plan is kind of going off the rails right now, and me choosing time blocking as one of my 30-day challenges probably should have been the first red flag. Hello, beautiful people of the internet, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jaden, and I post a lot of lifestyle content, but I also post a lot of self-help content. So if you're looking into becoming your best self, or even just interested in watching someone else attempt to do it, you've come to the right place. If you're unfamiliar with my 365-day plan, it's a challenge consisting of 12 30-ish day challenges up until my 25th birthday in October. It's my way of testing out the things that I've always wanted to try but never really had the time to, or never really wanted to put in the effort to attempt. And you'll see from some of my past videos, those things have been journaling, meditating, writing, stretching. This month's challenge was time blocking. If you don't know what time blocking is, it's a time management tool and a productivity technique where you divide your months, your weeks, your days into dedicated blocks of time. And each are assigned to a specific task or a category of tasks. This way, instead of working from a never-ending to-do list or just kind of taking each day by day, you plan out when and how long you'll spend on each activity. And this is how you make sure that the most important things get done first. And a lot of people think that this method can be really restrictive because no one wants to plan out each second of every single day. But a lot of people who are fluent in this do think that it gives them more time in the long run because they actually schedule out their rest and their relaxation. So they know when they're meant to be working and they know when they're meant to be enjoying themselves. Before you even start time blocking, the first thing you're supposed to do is track each individual thing that you do commonly in your life. And of course, there's going to be a lot of things that you already know how long it takes. Things like work and your commute in the morning, or how long a specific class will take. Those are kind of straightforward. But maybe things like your morning routine, how long it specifically takes you to do your makeup or make breakfast in the morning, or even taking a shower. Like, those things might not come as easily to you because you've never taken the time to look at how long it's taking you. And of course, once you have all of those times written down and you know how long everything's gonna take, it makes scheduling your days out a lot easier because you know that nothing's gonna go over the time that you expected and nothing's gonna take less time either. Some of the benefits of doing this are increased productivity, of course, reduced procrastination, better work-life balance, and just more straightforward plans with your life. These all seem like things I really needed at this point. And before we get too into my journey with it, I'll just say I do have a bit of a history with time blocking, as I do with a lot of things in this challenge, because usually it's something that I attempted for like a short bit of time and didn't really like put my whole heart and soul in, but I've always wanted to give like an actual shot at. So I think I did time blocking probably in my teenage years is when I know it was the most prominent. I also did some throughout college, especially with like focused study sessions. Those were always the big ones, but I've always been a scheduler. I've always been a planner. So during those times, I did find that it came a little bit easier to me. I'm also just naturally a very detail-oriented, very organized person. I have quite literally never been chill about anything ever. So yeah, tracking my time, that really wasn't so much of a problem. I already have paid enough attention to how long these things take in my life to not have to worry about that. My main problem is that I don't really have a lot of time that I feel like I can just play around with because I'm already being as strict as I feel I can. So originally I did plan to film this challenge like in that vlog type editing style where it goes throughout the month. But if I'm being honest, this was really a low-hanging fruit kind of challenge for me. I felt as though time blocking would not be too life-changing for me. And because I knew I was getting a little bit burnt out of doing 30-day challenges, I think I just felt like this wasn't going to be something I could take too seriously this month. I just have too much going on to think about something like this every single day. I did end up filming a clip or two in the beginning, but my first clip got lost somewhere in the void, and by the time I filmed that second clip, I saw that my first clip was gone. I kind of just gave up. at that point. So instead, we're just gonna do a general summary video like I did for the journaling, which I've also really been procrastinating filming this because I am kind of embarrassed. Coming off of 2 major successes for this challenge, it was really hard for me to admit failure at first. I just wanted to pretend that everything went fine. I mean, out of the first 4 months of doing this challenge, I only had 1 failure, which was my writing one. And I had 3 successes, which were journaling, meditating, and stretching. And if you watch all 4 of those videos back, you'll see that there was a very extreme difference in the way the videos were and the way the outcome was for the challenge, depending on my mindset throughout the 30 days. My writing challenge was an absolute mess. I was struggling so much throughout those 30 days. I was beating myself up constantly because not only did I feel like I didn't want to do it, but I didn't feel like I could do it. And as each day went on that I wasn't doing what I said I was going to do, it just discouraged me further. But I did come to the conclusion that I shouldn't feel guilty about how I handled my writing challenge. During Nano, I was supposed to write about 2,000 words a day, 3,000. And like I said, not only did I feel like I couldn't handle it, but I also just like didn't really have a deep urge to after a certain point. Honestly, I don't know if I ever like really wanted to. Meditation and stretching, on the other hand, sure, there were a lot of days I didn't really want to do it, but I was loving the benefits and I was loving the process, so I stuck through with it. And here's the weird thing. I haven't really utilized stretching or meditation pretty much at all since I've done those videos. Journaling did stick, and I think it always will be a huge part of my life, no matter what. But for meditation and stretching, it was just something I didn't feel like I had the time for, which is why I dedicated the time to do them for this challenge, because I knew that if it was really something that truly changed my life, then I would stick with it. And even if it wasn't something that I did every day, at least I would know that I had this tool in the back of my mind if I really needed it. And all of this is like another reason why I thought time blocking would be helpful. Unlike meditation or stretching, it doesn't require any extra time throughout each of my days. It just takes a little bit of prep work, and then you just kind of follow through with the process you already set up for yourself. And of course, a little bit of reflection, as everything I've done does. I really figured it would be a nice break from some of those other challenges and a really easy one to keep up with after the 365 plan ended. Instead, I cared for maybe about a week, and then I just kind of gave up and pretended that the challenge didn't exist anymore. You would think that means I learned nothing, but surprisingly this challenge taught me more than I expected it to. So for those of you who don't really have any background on me, I do work a 9 to 5, but it's actually 7 to 3. I have about an hour commute each way, so that is 10 hours of my work week gone. Out in my morning routine, which is like 30-45 minutes, and then my nighttime wind down, which is like 15 to 45 minutes, and we're at about 11 hours just dedicated to work and getting ready for work, leaving me with 5 hours of free time during my week. Throughout this particular month, I had so many appointments. I don't know why, but therapy every week, then my nail appointments, then my doctor's appointments, and my dentist appointments. And every day there's cooking and there's chores. That always takes like 1 to 2 hours. If I do want to work out, that's about another hour. And listen, I know that everyone feels like they don't have enough time, and at the end of the day, everyone does. There are some people who work multiple jobs, who have longer commutes, who need to sleep a little bit more, who have babies or a more prominent social life. Like, there's always something more important. And I know that a lot of it comes down to if we just stopped doom scrolling and then wasting unnecessary time during these tasks that don't have to take as long as we make them, we would always have time to do what we actually wanted to. I acknowledge that. I accept it. And that's a big thing that this challenge kind of forced me to confront about myself. Now, when I say that I gave up on the challenge, I didn't quit entirely. I still blocked out each and every one of my days. I just didn't always follow the plan 100%, and I wasn't super strict with how I did block my days out. Before the structure change, every one of my weekdays looked about the same. Morning routine, commute to work, go to work, come back from work, cook dinner, do chores, maybe do a workout, do something related to videos, and then wind down and go to sleep. And then repeat. That was my usual routine. I essentially would not stray from that. I would just do all of these things in different orders course. And my alternative to doing exactly that was to do nothing, basically. So I already had a routine. It was pretty established by this point. The only difference is when I was adding time blocking, I was trying to get stricter and cut out the fluff. But even after cutting out that fluff, it did not help the problem. My nights were really already packed. I didn't really have the room to move things around. And even if I was just to add in one 10-minute habit or one 5-minute habit, like for the people who say it's just 5 minutes or it's just 10 minutes out of your day, that would just clutter my calendar up more, which would make me more overwhelmed and also make it a lot harder to task switch. If you don't know what task switching is, essentially it's the concept of like switching your brain from one general task to another, as the word says. And that can be hard for people if it's not in the same general category. Like switching your brain from a creative mode to a working mode is a bit harder than maybe switching from one creative task to another creative task. You want to keep your brain on theme. So if I want to add in anything, it has to make sense with my routine, which I do try to do here and there. But like I said, it has to make sense for my routine, and a lot of the things I wanted to do just didn't make sense with the things I was already doing. None of it came naturally. So I needed to find some kind of solution for this, because constantly rushing through all of these to-do list items every single day, it just wasn't working for me. And I still wasn't even getting all the things done that I wanted to. Plus, on top of that, I wasn't getting any me time and I was not relaxing. So instead, I started trying to theme my entire days out. 2 different situations kind of showed me that this would be more helpful for me. First of all, I was going to therapy every single Tuesday, which since then I've actually stopped going, but because I was having my therapy from 5 to 6 and that was causing me to work a 9-hour work day because I wasn't gonna get off and then come home and then go to therapy, I would just rather go straight to therapy. I wasn't getting home until like 6:30-ish, and I didn't really feel like I had a lot of time to accomplish things after that. At first, I really wanted to make sure that Tuesday was a dedicated self-care day. Since I was already doing therapy and I already knew this would be more so an emotional and thoughtful kind of day, I thought, maybe I can do some journaling, maybe I can do some like yoga, just some wellness habits. All of those things started feeling like a chore. So then I came to the conclusion, why don't I make it a me day? Like do things that really make me happy. Because true self-care is about doing things that help yourself. So I decided no strict schedule, just doing what felt right in the moment, just instinctively going off of what I felt like doing. And I ended up realizing with that process that I don't know what to do without a schedule. I've lived my entire life for the sake of productivity. And it's hard for me to let go of that because productivity truly makes me happy. But with this, I was kind of ignoring that other things make me happy too. And even if productivity makes me happy, too much of it can be a bad thing. There is such a thing as toxic productivity. Another thing that kind of made me realize that theming out my days would be better for me is my relationship, because my boyfriend and I don't live together yet, which means we're visiting each other throughout the week. And just the way that we both are, I think we kind of need a general schedule for the week. Over time, we kind of just picked one up. So all of our weeks kind of looked the same. I'm at his place on Monday, he's at mine on Wednesdays, I'm at his on Fridays, and he's at mine on Saturdays. Like I said, Tuesdays were my therapy days. Now I'm usually playing Stardew with my mom. Wednesday, I know I cook dinner, and then I have my everything shower on Thursdays. I know is a really like random catch-all for like my to-do list stuff, and I like self-tan. I have like different things that I know are gonna get done on specific days throughout the week. I can think of so many examples. Like every single Friday, me and my boyfriend are together. We talk about like different things on our mind throughout the week, different things that we appreciated, just kind of have a check-in moment. And then on Sundays, I do my Sunday reset, and Saturday is usually like a little date day. We go out in one way or another. All of my important tasks are gonna get slotted somewhere between Tuesday and Thursday, but no matter what, I have set days for relaxation and set days for productivity. And some days have specific habits within those productivity versus relaxation days. Overall, this structure gives me so much more flexibility than the way I was doing it before. And it also keeps my brain on task. I don't feel like I have to go back and check my calendar and my to-do list 100 different times a day. I know what I need to get done and it comes naturally to me. If I know that I'm having a productivity day, 99% of the time that's going to be working on video stuff. So all I have to do is look at what I need to film, what I need to edit, and I just do the most important thing first. On a day that's strictly for relaxing, I don't let myself do anything that could be categorized as work. And then if it's kind of one of those like mixed days where I'm just doing what comes to me naturally. A lot of those days I do want to work on videos. A lot of those days I do want to do a workout. A lot of those days I do want to cook a dinner, but I'm not telling myself that any of those things have to be done. And no matter what, I know that I'm gonna have a day where that gets done. Like cleaning is gonna get done. Working out is gonna get done. Cooking a dinner is gonna get done. I'm not gonna let an entire week go by without having some designated time just for me. I'm not gonna let a week go by where I don't do something video related or something that's good for my body. And that is what I think the most important thing is, because sometimes we're so caught up in the grind and just working through a to-do list that we're not slotting out time to just take care of ourselves or to relax a little bit. So the biggest change to me has been not being so strict with a daily schedule, as I said, and also a daily to-do list. Now I'm just really keeping like a weekly to-do list. I also have a monthly to-do list, and I kind of just take on those tasks as they come. Like I said, from like Tuesday to Thursday, I'm just looking at my list and being like, do I want to do any of these things? And I figure out where I can make time for them. And if I end up not having the time to do everything I want to, you can easily just get moved over to the next day instead of every single day being like, I have to do this and this and this and this. And if it ended up taking me too long, or if something went wrong, I don't have the ability to just move it on to the next day because I already have a full schedule the next day as well. Surprisingly, this makes me feel like I'm saving time and doing more in the long run, because it prioritizes things. Even if I didn't get what I was supposed to get done the day before, I know that certain things hold priority. Nothing is taking me away from my relaxing moments. Nothing is going to stop me from still having some time to relax and some time to work on my errands. Everything that I need to focus on is treated with the same amount of respect, and I think that's been really helpful for me. So did I figure out time blocking? Kind of. But more importantly, I learned yet again that productivity methods need to be tailored specifically to you. Time blocking is an amazing tool, but only if it actually serves the lifestyle that you want to live. I feel like I say this every time, but it's so important. Not everyone's time blocking will look the same, just like not everyone's meditation will look the same. Not all movement looks the same. Not all meal prepping or Sunday resets or diets, like none of those will look the same to each person, because every person has a different means of being healthy and being happy and being productive. Productivity and self-care are personal journeys. You know what yours looks like to you. If you're not getting things done with a certain productivity method or a certain self-care method, then it might just not be the method for you. With that being said, if you've never tried time blocking, it is something I think I would recommend. Not because I think it will be like life-changing for everyone or that it will solve all of your problems, but I think it just gives you really good insight into yourself and how you spend your time. Honestly, maybe you'll look at how you're scheduling your days in a little bit of a different light. Even if the traditional method isn't working for you, you'll find a better way. So yeah, I'm slightly disappointed in myself for not taking this challenge a bit more seriously and for maybe not experimenting around as much as I should have. But at the same time, I think that I've found a system that works for me and that doesn't make me feel like a robot. And that was kind of the whole point of this challenge in the first place. I do all of these challenges to try and learn and grow and experience things that I've never really experienced before. So at the end of the day, my failures are also my successes. I do hope that this helps everyone try something new in their life, whether it's time blocking or not. And I do hope you guys enjoy this video, even though it wasn't the most engaging. If you did enjoy this video or any of my insight, please give it a like and a comment. And if you're feeling generous, you can even subscribe. I do hope to see you guys all in the next video, and especially in the next edition of the 365 plan. But if not, bye-bye.